Good evening. Hello, hello, hello. Is there anybody out there? Hello? I am live. Is there anybody there? I'm so lonely. Oh, we have 3 people. Hello, hi, say hi if you're here. Hello, good evening. I'm just going to clean my glasses. Hold on 1 second. Hi, Louise. Hello. Oh, Chelsea's here and she would like to go live. Shall I let her? Shall we let Chelsea in? Hello, everybody. Hi, good evening.
Hello.
Hi, you're here.
This is working.
It is working. I'm going to move my camera up a little bit because then...
Huge thank you for everyone for spending the Thursday night with Thomas and I.
Yeah, no better way to spend it though, I think, to be honest.
Perfect way to spend it. And we've also got some quite exciting announcements for tonight, haven't we?
We've got loads. I've actually got a list of announcements.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Well, I guess while we wait for everyone to join, tell us about your birthday.
Yeah, so it was my 25th birthday. That's what I've been telling everybody. That may or may not be factually accurate by give or take 9 years. And I spent the day in London with my husband and we went perfume shopping. So that was my gift. He said, you can go and find a perfume up to X price, which is obviously like letting me free in a candy shop.
Now, the biggest question, what did you buy?
Well, I had a whole list of things I've been like thinking about for a while, and I ended up going for one that wasn't on my list, which was from Guerlain. And in Selfridges, they do this thing where you can pick your fragrance, and then you pick the coloured bee bottle that you want, and then the ribbon that you want, and then they fill it there for you. So I went for one called Mon Précieux Nectar.
I feel like if you were called a fragrance, that would be your name.
Yeah, probably. Yes, I think so. And I went for Candy Perfume Boy Pink, obviously.
Lovely.
Be on brand. So yeah, it was good. It was a good day. And then we went for dinner and we ate, got cookies and just sat in the hotel eating cookies. So what you can't argue with that.
Perfect day. I'd love to know, Thomas, who's new here? I don't know about you.
Yeah,
give us some links on the side if you're new, or comment below.
Yeah, let us know if you're a newbie.
What have been your thoughts on the second half of the box?
My thoughts?
Yeah.
I think this is the kind of the more sort of nichey, kind of more challenging half, I think, than the first half. So I think there's going to be more in this half that people like either love or don't love. I think it's going to be a bit more polarizing.
Definitely. I'd love to know if people actually recognize that this was the niche half and the first half was designer.
Yeah, it'd be cool if you've tried all of the fragrances. Did you feel that this half was more challenging, or did you think it was more easy? Do you think it was more niche, more designer? We definitely intended it to be a bit more niche. But that said, I do love. There's I'd probably say there's one fragrance that I really love from each half. So for the first half, I really think that Jimmy Choo is brilliant. I think that's a really good fruity floral. And then for me,
I'm surprised at you. I would have thought you were a C guy.
Yeah. I can't remember what C is now. I'm trying to remember.
Now, I should know this, but I want to say it's Hilfiger.
Yes, I think that Hilfiger is really good, actually.
Yeah, it's beautiful. A lot of people saying that they love the second half of the box, apart from H. Very interesting. I'm looking forward to tell the story of H because it's a complex character.
It is, and it's the people who've joined us from nearly all of the boxes it'll make sense to them why it's a bit more tricky when we talk about what kind of fragrance it is, because I think it's a tricky style of fragrance.
Definitely. I feel like as well we've missed the all-important question. What's everyone drinking?
Yeah, I'm being very boring and I've got a Coke Zero.
That's not boring. That's okay. I was lucky enough, Rakesh gave me an Edinburgh gin. I'm on the pink gin. Do let us know in the comments. I wonder if any of the the drinks match the scents as well. Pull out a little. I'm sure there's a mojito flavoured something in there. Shall I show you who I'm here with tonight?
Yes.
So, can you? I don't know if you can hear in the background. I'm actually here with Team Escentual. So I'm going to flip the camera. Can you see?
We can see. You guys are working late.
Give everyone a wave.
Hello.
So what we're trying to do is we're going to make these into more like team building and into more of an event. So I'd love to know as well, is anyone doing this with anyone else tonight? Is it just you? Let us know in the comments. So we're celebrating the new box with some Taco Bell and some gin.
Nice.
Mojito, very nice choice. I bet you love G if you're drinking a mojito.
Yeah, G has definitely got mojito vibes. We've got lots of gin, some ginger beer, pink G&T, rosé. Good selection of drinks today for a Thursday evening, I think. Crystal's at work. Hopefully you're not drinking it whilst at work, but if you are, Crystal, we won't tell anybody, we promise.
Thomas, do you want to tell everyone your news? We won't put people out of their, we'll put people out of their misery.
So because it's my birthday, Escentual have very kindly given us a discount code that we can use that will be live up until midnight tomorrow. So if you do decide that you want to treat yourself to something, your code is Thomas15, and that will give you 15% off.
And that's not because you're 15.
No, I am actually 16. That's how old I am.
We did think that you were 16.
Yeah. I think if we put my real age, it would be a bit too much money off. We don't want to put 75% off, do we?
The pretty pennies and the discount code, which is amazing. So as we're on the niche second half, I think it might come in handy.
Yeah, I think so. If there's anything people are in love with, I think it's going to be very, very handy to have. So that's a 15% off code that you can use, which is just Thomas15. There you go. Nice and easy. I'm very excited to see how many of you use that.
Yeah. I'm going to let you have the floor now.
Okay.
I'm just going to listen and I'm going to be your assistant. So don't forget, we've got like 5 boxes to give away. So I've got a pen to write these down. And I can't wait to hear more about, your thoughts about this box. I know we worked on this together. So
yeah. So I've just seen Amanda said that I'm 15 in pug years, which I will take, absolutely. So this is the second half of the June box, which is all new launches. So we're going to be covering fragrances E to H. Usual disclaimer, there is no right or wrong. If you perceive a fragrance a certain way, then that is perfectly valid, and we're happy to talk about it in any way that makes sense to you. This side of the box is definitely more niche. So the first half was really kind of our favorite, more mainstream designer fragrances. And then this half is kind of the more challenging, intriguing, perhaps a little bit more Marmite fragrances, I think. And we've definitely seen that in the comments, because there are fragrances that people have loved and the same fragrances that people have absolutely not loved. And we're all for that. We're here to talk you through all the different fragrances, and it's perfectly valid to say you love something as it is to say you don't love it. And I think it's really interesting just to see how we all respond to different fragrances as we go. Question is the 15% off just off fragrance, or is it off everything?
Everything.
Everything. Just go nuts.
Absolutely everything. Enjoy, get that wish list out and treat yourself for Thomas's birthday.
Just for me. There you go. Brilliant. So what we'll do is we'll go through the fragrances. You'll notice a slightly different format this evening. I have got the wonderful Chelsea with me, who is going to be talking through things with me as well and going through some
What did I say? I'm not as glamorous as Nigel or Pugsley, but I'm here to help.
You are. I actually think, living with both Nigel and Pugsley, I'm going to say that I think you are more glamorous. But...
You're just saying that.
So Chelsea's going to be here and we're going to be talking through things together and also going over some of the scorecards as well as we go. So that will be really, really fun. Just before I start, one thing I wanted to remind you as well is about the solar box that's next month. July's box is still on sale up until the 5th of July. So if you want
a sneak peek of it, actually.
Ooh.
Yes, now this is actually a world exclusive. Yet to be seen. So these are obviously sealed. I can't do that to somebody. I will try and get one by the end, and I'll show
Okay,
you. You can
we'll have a
definitely
quick
try
look.
Solar.
So if some of you, because I've seen a few questions around what is Solar in the group. So just to explain, it's not, I don't think it's an official fragrance family, but it's very much a genre of perfume, and one that we've written about and spoken about on Escentual quite a lot. And Solar fragrances are those that are kind of very radiant and light bearing, and they remind us of the sun and summer. So you should expect lots of sparkling, warm, solar, sunny fragrances. And we thought that was just going to be perfect for July, because hopefully we'll have good weather in July, because June is being a bit patchy.
And it's in line with Sun Poverty as well, which is even better.
Exactly, which is obviously a fantastic campaign that Escentual is doing with their own sunscreen and for primary school children, which is amazing. Which, did I see that you were doing something about that this week, Chelsea?
Yeah, so I guess for those who don't know, slightly off topic, but related to sun, we've created a campaign called Sun Poverty. So what we're doing is we've noticed that 80% of sun damage happens before the age of 18. So we're helping educate from youth to create sun good habits. So we're donating free sunscreens to children eligible for free school meals or food banks, so those who deserve it most, because sunscreen is a privilege. Yeah, so I was on Welsh News yesterday with our first donation in a primary school, and they loved it, which was really, really lovely to see.
That's great.
Yeah.
It's a really amazing campaign. So Solar is all about sunny things, and I'm looking forward to that box, because I think it's going to be quite a different box for people. There you go. We know that you love to see what the juices look like. Everyone gets very intrigued.
Very sunny.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. That's still on sale until the 5th of July, if you're interested in that. As always, I've got five of those boxes to give away during this live. So for the best comments and questions, I will just be randomly shouting at people to saying, you've got a box, please DM Escentual. So if you can DM Escentual after this, if you win a box.
Yes, I will write down names too.
Chelsea will also write down names just to make sure we keep track. And Nick, no, you haven't missed any of the reveals yet. This is still the 3-hour preamble where I just talk before I actually reveal anything. So yeah, I'm really excited. I think we're just going to jump right into it now. Let's just go straight into it. So we're going to go into our first fragrance in the box, which is Fragrance E. I would be very keen to hear what you all think of Fragrance E. There you go. Yes. Slightly blue coloured in the juice there.
Which is funny, because when you see the bottle, it makes sense completely.
Yeah. I'm going to give this a spritz. It's been a while since I've sprayed this one, actually.
So for everyone who's kind of getting their boxes out and spraying while Thomas is spraying, how did Scent E make you feel when you first sprayed it? I would love to know. So Louise is saying like a salty seaside, fresh but a little leathery.
Yeah, I really like that, because there is definitely a saltiness to this, like a sea aquaticness. It's peppery, masculine. Lisa's saying masculine. So I think we chose this because it's a very elevated, it's still a mainstream fragrance actually, but it's kind of feels a bit more elevated than lots of mainstream masculines. And I think it's from a brand that, I don't know if you agree with this, Chelsea, but I think it's quite underrated as a brand. I think they do lots of really nice stuff that's perhaps a little bit more of an undiscovered gem for people. It's not a go-to brand.
Well, we have had one previously from the brand that went down really well. I think people were quite surprised, and nobody guessed it, which is interesting.
Yeah, that was one that nobody guessed that. Right until the end, I was really thinking people would guess what that was, but nobody did. And this one's a modern, very fresh take on leather, and I think that's an interesting idea in itself, because leather is often very smoky and rich and kind of tarry and quite heavy, whereas this is a really delicate, light and massively fresh leather. It's the complete opposite. And there's been some really interesting comments in the group on this one. Carol said it was soapy and it was spicy, but also floral. Lisa said it was a burst of citrus at the start, followed by a lovely sweetness that could be lavender or violet, and a slight leather, almost savoury character in the base. Adele wasn't so keen. She said it was a bit too citrusy, almost like disinfectant. But she said she gave it a kind of a backhanded compliment, which I really liked, which was it was more like Mrs. Hinch's cleaning selection from John Lewis rather than Poundland. So it's like posh soap.
That is a great I can't say it, dictonomy.
Yeah.
I see that completely.
Yeah, I do. It's absolutely
what you're saying about the leather, Thomas. Like when you smell say Prada, Homme, that is like a fresh pair of leather shoes, like fresh out the bag. Whilst Aqua de Parma leather, super crisp. But for people who are a bit scared of leather, this is definitely more wearable.
Yeah, I think it's a good, like, what I would say is like an entry level leather.
Yeah.
Because I personally have never been a fan of leather because I've always found it really smoky, really tarry. And actually, I started with some sort of fresh leathers. The one that really kind of got me in was the Kelly Kalesh from Hermes, which is a really sort of fresh, fruity leather. And that's kind of got me to appreciate leather in all its forms. And now I'm wearing quite a lot. I was going to say I'm wearing a lot of leather, but I need to like kind of add the caveat that it's fragrant.
Watch the comments roll in.
So yeah, I think it's a really good way to get into leather if you're a bit scared of it.
Thomas, we need to talk about Jan Jones's comment. I actually want to crack up. Pigskin gloves with lemon fingers.
That's so specific, Jan. I want to know where.
So specific and so visual, but great. That's what we need. We want to see and feel the fragrance.
We do, and I think that could be worth our first box of the evening. I think because that's so specific. I think so, Jan. Here is a box for your pigskin gloves and your lemon fingers. If you just DM Escentual afterwards.
Rebecca Wigmore, entry level leather is a great drag name.
Yeah.
Crack it. Everyone's on their A game tonight.
Mia says it smells like a man on a yacht with white leather upholstery, just having shaved and now eating seaweed with an unlit cigar in his top pocket for later. Which I think is very vivid.
Very visual.
Brilliant.
Keep them coming because they're so fun to read.
So when I smell this, I find it's quite cool in the top notes. It has got that salty kind of sea spray aquatic feel, but it's also got a greenness to it. I think it's quite herbaceous. It's very creamy. It's a soft textured leather, but it's very clean and very fresh. There's none of the tar, none of the smoke. I just think it's really beautifully done. And I think it's got some of the it's got a kind of a luxurious element to it too, because it's got kind of like a creamy, like iris feel to it. It's a little bit powdery.
Yeah, a lot softer.
Yeah.
I guess put your thumb up on the side if you like this fragrance as well. If it's something you'd wear. Quite interested to know.
I think it's very wearable, and I think actually it's marketed as a masculine fragrance, but I think it's totally unisex. I think anybody could wear this easily.
Hi, Michelle. Should we get the reveal? Should we do it?
Yeah, we do it. Okay.
I'm gonna let you reveal.
Okay, good. Okay, so this one is from Salvatore Ferragamo, and it's Ferragamo Intense Leather Eau de Parfum. This came out this year, obviously, because this is the new box, all of new stuff. It was by a perfumer called Antoine Maisondieu, and it is £45 for a 30ml Eau de Parfum. So it's a flanker to the Ferragamo fragrance, which came out about 2 years ago. And it's a very aromatic take on leather. It's modern, it's soft, it's elegant and easy, but it's got that freshness and that aquatic quality, reflected, I think, nicely in the kind of deep blue hue of the bottle.
Definitely. I can see a lot of females love this, and I feel like it has the boss the scent effect. Women want to wear it, especially in the office. That's
interesting. I think because it is just a little bit more of a genderless leather. I think leather can sometimes be heavy.
I did some research, just a little bit into the brand, and I found this really interesting, so I wanted to share tonight. Obviously, Ferragamo, fashion house, Italian, and it all stemmed from back when he was 9. His family couldn't afford to buy his sister a pair of shoes, so he borrowed some fabrics and bits and bobs from local shoemakers, and he created his sister's first pair of shoes for her Holy Communion, and that's where it all started. 9 years old.
Wow, that's talent to start from 9 years old and then build an empire.
I'm embarrassed. I need to sort my shoe game out.
This is Michelle's asking which one is this. This is E, so this is fragrance E. So we're just right at the start. Mia saying she's not encountered an aquatic leather before. No, I haven't either. This is actually a very novel take on leather, I think, because I've not tried or experienced a leather that is so refreshing. I think when people say leather, we do think like heaviness. We think old. We think like kind of cracked leather and aged jackets and things like that. My question to you all would be, if this was a leather good, so if it was like a leather item, what would it be? What would you think it would be?
It's funny you say that as well, Thomas, about like the cracked old leather, because I was looking at the notes.
Mm.
So for somebody who has no context and would go online to shop for this, say Lily of the Valley, Musk leather, very like, let's be honest, quite Fausty type of expectation. It's the complete opposite of that. Fresh, energizing. So that's why it's always important to dive a little deeper. Sometimes the note mixes aren't how they look or smell.
This is the interesting thing about notes lists, is they can be really, really helpful, or they can also be kind of the opposite, because I think they can sometimes get you to focus on materials that are kind of in there, but you don't really like. Because if you say you don't like leather, you might be put off this fragrance, but actually a lot of people in the group are kind of like, I didn't really realize it was leather. So I think sometimes it can be a bit of a hindrance as much as a help, which is why this is such a good way of doing it.
Jan's back. Gotta give it to Jan. When I did, see a comment. Somebody said it's out of stock. The 30ml is currently out of stock, but the best part and a secret tip about our website is you can still place the order. So if you were to use Thomas's code and place your order, and the fragrance would arrive in 2 weeks, you'll still get the discount. But I didn't tell you that.
No, that's not recorded on video, you saying that.
I love how sorry.
What I find that is completely unsurprising is that I say, what leather good is this? And people have already gone to chaps and jock straps. So it says a lot about Essential Scents as a group.
I can't wait to talk about F, because this is like meant for the Essential Scent group. I'm so glad we picked it.
Yeah,
F is still on E.
Yeah, it's still on E. So we've got leather beach bag, I think someone said leather beach ball as well, or was that leather beach bag? Maddie can't believe it's...
going to the leather beach ball party. That sounds like a laugh.
That does sound like, I mean, I'll take any beach party at this point. A year of COVID, I'll take anything. Maddie says she can't smell leather in here at all. That's interesting. I think it's such a cool, fresh take on leather. It's easy to miss. If volleyballs were made of leather. Yeah. Okay, so I think that wraps up E nicely, which I think was a nice surprise. Let's move on to F, because I know there are lots of people who are very excited to find out what F is. And I think, again, this was one that I divided opinion quite a lot. There were people who absolutely loved this and others who thought it was a bit odd. I know you're a fan of this one, Chelsea.
Oh, do you know what? This is if someone were to ask me my favourite fragrance brand in the world, this would be it. I'm really over the moon that we managed to fit it in this box as well. I wear this regularly and I always get complimented on it. What do you think?
I think it's really fascinating. And when I was trying to think about what I wanted to say to this fragrance, the word that kept coming to my mouth, to my mind, and then to my mouth so that I could speak, was abstract. Because I just feel like it's not, it doesn't feel like it's plucked from nature at all. It feels like entirely constructed, and there's something really cold and alien about it. But then also it gets very warming and comforting after a while. It's just one of those, there's a strangeness to it that I think is really compelling. Can
I tell you why? But I'm not going to give it away. I'm not going to do a Dylan Turquoise, but I might.
You had to bring that up.
I'm going to try. So this brand, they basically take science and body language and how the brain works, and they mix it into something to create. The end goal of all these fragrances is to please and to seduce. So this is why it's perfect. I can't wait to hear everyone's thoughts about this. There's one note in here in particular, which is very contrasting for everyone to experience, as it works with your pleasure receptor. So when you say, Thomas, it's warm and it's cold, it's up and down, other people might get a different feeling. So I'm really intrigued to know what everyone thinks, because I wear this constantly in hope that one day Mr. Right will just go, yeah, there we are.
Yeah, there we go. I really like this. Yeah.
sorry, another team Escentual just come in and actually scared me. Not alive.
There are lots of thoughts about this. So we can see comments on fruity chewits. George said it had a beautiful blackcurrant note. Some people saying a little bit catwee at the beginning, which I think is the blackcurrant. If you joined us on our floral, was it a fruity box? We talked about cassis and blackcurrant bud and how that can smell a bit ammonia-like, which is what some people read as a little bit catwee. Carl says strawberry Bellini is a bit plasticky. I think it's interesting what Carl says about it being plasticky, because there is like this synthetic feel to it, I think, which is really interesting.
Yeah, they're completely thought-provoking, considered. Science and like old school know-how is, you know, the sort of brand message. Quite very, very new to us as well, but so excited. I just smelt it again. I just love it.
Yeah, I really love the opening. And in the group, there were some really interesting comments. Kirsten likened it to a passion fruit cheesecake, and she made us all very hungry by posting a picture of that cheesecake.
Next one.
And then she picked up on something sour. Michelle said it was bathed in Malibu and that it had fruit such as lychee, mandarin, and raspberry in its hair. And Jack said it smelled like a bag of sweets. So a lot of people picking up on the fruitiness in the opening there, which I think is really, really strong in the opening. It's got this blackcurrant kind of passion fruit feel that's very tart, very sharp, and almost like slightly acerbic. You know, sometimes when you smell like grapefruit and things like that, they could be almost a little bit sulfuric. I think there's that kind of sharpness to it. But underneath, it's all creamy and milky and soft and light and airy and just waves and waves of musk.
Definitely. I think this is a Maddie fragrance. Maddie Roberts, I know you're watching. I hope I've got this right and you like it. Let me know.
She's saying very, very beachy and tropical. That's what Maddie's saying. I think that what I like about it is that you've got this like creamy smoothness, and then there is that off note to it, almost that sharpness that makes it really odd and interesting.
Is this something you would wear, Thomas?
Yeah, I think so. I also think it would be one that I almost went to pick up the bottle. Then I have to be careful. Just go. Yeah. Well, no, we would have another Dylan Tech voice. I feel like it would be one that would change really dramatically when you wore it. So if you wore it in the winter, I think it would give a different vibe to wearing it in the summer completely. I think it would work in both, but I think the heat would make it, and the temperature would really, really change how it performs. I'm
just looking around. Everyone's having a lovely time sniffing. What do you all think of F? In one word. Whoop! That was the word. That's the word. Whoop is the word.
A lot of people saying, is it amouage-y? They're saying, is it amouage? Is it amouage-esque? Is it a little bit amouage-y? I can see why you think that, because it's a little bit odd.
Sprayed it again. It's perfect. I need a perfume budget. You've got Thomas's Thomas 15 code. And
you've got my, If you're just joining us and you've missed out at the beginning, there is a 15% off code that you can use because it's my birthday. Well, it was my birthday yesterday, but it's technically my birthday month. So you can use that up until midnight tomorrow. So if you want to treat yourself to something. So shall we put everybody out of their misery?
Let's do it.
Okay, I have the bottle here.
So okay. I'll try and do it at the same time.
Okay, I'm ready. 3, 2, 1. There you go. So this is called Musk Therapy by Initio Parfums. This came out this year, obviously. It's an Extrait de Parfum, so it's actually a stronger concentration than an Eau de Parfum. And it is £205 for a 90ml bottle. They have a number of collections. This is from the Hedonist collection, which is about offering therapy through scent. And what it is it's an essay in white musks, really, and they've amplified the kind of the sweetness and the fruity aspects of musks with lots of beautiful fruit notes, but also some lovely white flowers. And sort of soft woods. It's a really textured perfume. I don't know if you think so, Chelsea, but it's very textured, very soft and creamy.
Adore it. And I was lucky enough to meet their ambassador Julian, and just hearing how passionate he is about each fragrance and how it was made makes you love it even more. So one day we will get him on alive.
That would be fun. That would be really cool to talk to him.
Yeah.
And the bottle's really lovely as well. I do love the bottle with the gold.
Yeah, it's super chic. And obviously, we need to talk about the packaging they actually come in as well. I'm gutted I've only got one here.
I've got one.
Oh, brilliant. Show everyone, Thomas. Like, that doesn't even do it justice. It's like super plastic, heavyweight.
Yeah. Heavyweight
Even
box.
that on your dresser alone, you've got like a tiny little invitation to Initio group with a
Yeah,
QR code. It's just everything is beautiful.
very
Um,
soft packaging as well.
So this is £205, but the longevity alone is worth it. There's nothing. Is there anything else that smells like this to you, Thomas?
Well, someone was just saying in the group that it was that they thought it was a Mugler. And I remember when we first talked about this, you said it gave you kind of shades of womanity from way
Yes,
back
it
when.
did. I honestly, me and you are big Humanity fans. Do you disagree? And that's okay. This is what this group is about.
Yeah, I get a little bit of womanity in it. I think it's that kind of fruity creaminess, but it's not got like the aquatic salty vibe of womanity, but it's got that fruitiness. Absolutely. How sustainable is the box? I have no idea. It's got a card on the outside, and then it's kind of
That's a great question. We will look into that.
Yeah, I'm not sure. But I think one of these boxes, I think, is a nice display box. It doesn't feel like the kind of box that you would just throw away.
Yeah.
And I think that's actually better than just having a typical box wrapped in cellophane.
It's such a good gift. If you liked this fragrance, it was one of your favourites, we'd love to see some little hearts on the side, and then we can gauge from our live audience which one was the best, hopefully.
Yeah, lots of people agreeing with the womanity vibes.
Oh, that's good to know. I miss womanity, Thomas.
I do. I think you can still get it. I think they still stock it. Just
airports, can't you, as well?
Yeah. But they did take it away from which was
lots of love hearts coming through. This is definitely more popular than E. Forgetting my alphabet now.
Lisa is saying that the perfume doesn't make her happy anymore now she's seen the price.
Well, Lisa, I've got good news, actually. Haven't we, Thomas? More good news. You are our member of the month. So that means you can choose a fragrance from this box. And we will send it to you.
Well done. Congratulations. It can be any from A to H.
I suggest this one.
If you're going for pure bang for your buck, then yes, absolutely. If you love this one, it's great. So my question to you all is, if fragrance F was a food, what food would it be?
A suit.
A food.
A food.
If it was a food.
Ah, wow. What would you say, Thomas? I
would say it would be some like molecular gastronomy. It would be
like a Heston Blumenthal.
Yeah, it would be some like fruit foam served on a really nice plate with like maybe like a souffle or something. It's got that like whipped quality.
Do you know what? All of this creativity in the group has made me. I'm just gonna watch and pick out Black Forest fruit gelato, passion fruit mousse, upside down pineapple cake with cream, grilled peaches with salad. Wow, lots of Oh, Michelle, I'd love to know what you think about this. 'Cause I know you love Delina as well. How does it compare?
Yeah, because they do share a similar vibe, don't they? They've got kind of that lactonic creaminess, I think. Yeah, I like this. I think it's a really, really unique perfume.
Yeah, one of my favourite brands. Highly recommend discovering Initio a lot more.
Sorbet, interesting. Yeah, I think it's definitely got that coolness to it that would make it a sorbet. I agree, Kate. Passion fruit mousse. I'm just getting really hungry now. I always do this. I ask about food and then I get really hungry. Okay, should we do G?
Let's do G. Let's do G. What are your thoughts on G, Thomas?
I think G is really handsome. I think it's very elegant, handsome. It's effortlessly handsome, I think. It's kind
G
of
is definitely a mood.
Yeah, definitely. I just think it's such a kind of, it's kind of almost like a twist on a cologne, I think. Like a classic cologne, but made very modern, which means it's good because it lasts a long time.
Yeah. Does this smell familiar to you? You smelt it? For me, it's very much like a very leafy, minty mojito on a hot day.
Yeah, it's really super refreshing.
Love G, fresh and green. G is bonkers. That's really funny. Love that. How did G make everyone feel when you first opened it? I feel like if I could sum this up in one word, and it's such a boring word, Thomas, you're going to be so much better, but it's just refreshing. In this hot weather, to be wearing something like that just makes you feel a little bit lighter, a bit cooler.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's really refreshing. It's cooling. It's got like lovely sort of sparkly citrus notes, but then it's got this nice sort of herbal greenery, a little bit of dryness that I think makes everything. It's that contrast that I think makes it so refreshing. That's what makes it cooler.
Definitely.
Sue's saying a touch of disinfectant.
Oh.
George says green apple shampoo, very nostalgic. Max says like a man with a smooth chest.
Wow, what a man.
What a man.
Where does he live?
He could be the Mr. Right that Chelsea's looking for.
Yeah, he could. Nice, but also very inoffensive. Okay, my question, as this is part of the niche side of the box, do you think it smells niche? Whatever niche means to you. Do you think it smells a bit rare, a bit exclusive? Can you smell the quality? That's a loaded question.
Yeah, that is a loaded question.
Honestly,
well, Jan said something again. Jan says Turkish exotic mint tea. Timotei. A classic Basley babe. I'm all about a green sniff. Says Rebecca. Well, that made me laugh. Rebecca, you can grab yourself a box for that because
Rebecca. What's Rebecca's surname?
Wigmore.
Wigmore, brilliant. Rebecca was also the comment about the drag name, I believe. So on fire.
Well earned. So Hanny's saying fougere, cool sparkling herb border on an April showers day. Oh, I like that. That's a really nice description.
In terms of sort of trends we've seen, Thomas, for this year, and we also, the best of box is the best of 2021 so far.
Yeah.
We'll also be doing this again in October with the best launches from up until then, but this is just from the year so far. Do you think this fits any of the fragrance trends we've seen at the moment?
So I think we've seen lots of citrus this year, I think, which has been really, really interesting because we saw, Miller Harris have got a new bergamot fragrance, and then we saw that beautiful special edition from Acqua di Parma, the sponge one, the Spugnatura.
Yes.
And I think this is kind of this trend of just beautiful focus on citrus, and I think this is kind of doing that in the top notes for me.
Definitely. I think when I was looking deeper into like fragrance moods, and particularly the edit you did for us around like fragrance escapism and positivity and how it can make you feel good, this one does transport you to a really positive place. So I think that fits the sort of escapism, bit of joy that we're seeing. Like, people want to smell happiness.
Yeah, I think it's that kind of uplifting, mood boosting thing, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. If anyone agrees or disagrees, please feel free to let me know.
I really like Amanda's comment, actually. So just be wary, Amanda, there's going to be a box coming your way. It smells like you've gone to a posh spa with cool marble tiles and fluffy towels, and you can smell very strong green cleanness through the soaps and steam. That's so beautifully evocative, man. I love that.
Amanda, I feel like those towels are like lukewarm.
Yeah.
They're toasty towels.
I actually just want to leave this live now and go to a spa. I'm sorry.
I've got some stand-ins.
Yeah.
Everyone give a wave. They're so engrossed in this. Thoughts on G? Everyone's got a bit camera shy. Sorry, I should be more direct.
Very
Crisp. Like you can smell the crunching of the leaves.
Yeah, I totally see that.
Oh, right. You're off camera now, you're fine.
Yeah. Susie said steam in the air. Brilliant. Okay. So In the group, Crystal loved it. She called it herbal and fresh. Sarah likened it to a string bikini and a tiny Speedo, which can disappear quickly, and which I thought was really funny. And Ebanola called it citrusy and musky and said that it leans unisex to masculine. I think this is just a really elegant, well done fragrance. It's not, I think what it shows is that niche doesn't always have to be weird or challenging. It can just be very beautifully composed.
Yeah.
And you get lots of juiciness in it. It's quite fruity up top with apple and blackcurrant and mandarin. And it's kind of refreshing. It's almost like you're sat in the garden with a jug of something. I don't know whether it's Pimm's or whatever you want to have.
Now you say Pimm's, I want to swap the mojito to Pimm's.
Yeah, it could be either or both if you want to just have both. No one's going to judge you. There's greenery, there's grass and herbs, but also some delicate flowers as well. It uses the note of petitgrain, which is kind of a bridge between citrus and flowers. And there's white musks. It's clean. It's a little soapy. I think it's very refreshing, which is the word you used at the beginning. And in my notes, I have the word refreshing. So obviously, totally in sync. And it's very handsome and it's very easy. I think it's beautiful.
Do you know what's really funny, Thomas? I don't know how you do these lives. Like at home, when I'm sort of behind the screen, I'm laughing my head off at these comments, and now I like can't contain it, and I get so excited on a comment. It's brilliant.
I know. What I think is really fantastic about this group is, as it's grown, people have got very creative about talking about the fragrance, because I think everyone feels a little bit more comfortable now with talking about it. And some of the things people say are just so either funny or just on point or fascinating. It's just really brilliant to see how everybody's mind works so differently. I really like it.
My real weirdness is will come out of this life. I'm usually a keyboard warrior.
Hester says it's handsome and easy, just her type.
Ooh.
You do you, Hester. We're not judging. Carol says toes in damp moss, which is really pretty. Everyone wants Pimm's now. Should we do a reveal then of G? This is G.
Let's do a big reveal. As it is a big bottle.
It is a big bottle. Do not drop this on your foot because it would be very painful.
Oh, I did a Versace.
Did you? It's really hard to do, actually, not to do like right in front of the head.
Now I can't hear you because the drum roll's too loud. Right, let's do this again. Drum roll, guys.
Very good drum roll. Okay, so G.
Oh, the camera's facing you. There it is.
It is. It's Greenley Eau de Parfum by Parfums de Marly.
See the size?
There you go.
Literally the size of my head.
A couple of people guessed this one actually, I think, on the live, but it was Greenley by Parfums de Marly. This is their latest launch for men. So this is what the men's bottles look like. I think the men's bottles are really, really elegant. I like them a lot. And this is kind of a very lovely, kind of almost mint green, but it's translucent. I think it's really nice. And this is £160 for a 75ml eau de parfum. It's a very big launch for them. I just think it's just a very easy, elegant, fresh, modern cologne for men. I just think it's just so wonderful.
We actually find as well a lot of women use it, and when I've been in the Parfum de Marly Strats, they do sometimes refer to it as unisex as well. So it's literally for everybody. There's, because the way it makes you feel, just happy, positive, light. You could share this as well, which is more value for the money. Yeah,
and I think it's just a case of marketing, isn't it? Really, with the gender, because if this was relaunched by someone like Aqua de Palma, it would just sit in a standard bottle that looks like all of the others, and you'd never know either way. So I think anybody could wear this.
What was your question about this one, Thomas?
I think I was feeling like that transporting thing, and I went for, if fragrance G was a place, what place would it be?
Very nice. I did a little bit of background just on the inspiration, sort of the story where it came from, and Parfums de Marly, very 18th century sort of inspiration from France, and this one is inspired. Michelle, I want to come to Parfums de Marly meeting. Maybe one day we'll be allowed to invite you in. I'll try and secret stream it, but I have got in trouble for that before. The settings in the Chateau de Marly, which is apparently one of the most beautiful chateaus in France, and this was what it was inspired by, all the greenery.
Oh, beautiful. They do, what I like about Parfum de Marly is they do a really good, it's all very like French heritage sort of inspired. It's all very kind of Marie Antoinette, you know, that kind of style, Palace of Versailles. But they kind of make it more modern. It's like the Sofia Coppola movie of Marie Antoinette rather than like a classic. They try and take these really classic ideas and make them very modern, and I think that shows in the fragrances.
No, definitely. I think as well, if you love a fragrance that tells a story, has a huge heritage, and is also a little bit under the radar, so it can be a bit more of your secret. Parfum de Marly is one of those right now, but it's getting huge. I think they've just put in a big build in Harrods as well. It is exploding.
Yeah. And we've got an H Beauty here, Harrods Beauty, just built in Milton Keynes now, and they've got a really beautiful section there. So lots of interesting things. I've got Alpine Spa, says Sue. Plant Room in a Historical Mansion, says Claire. So we've got Lake Como, Norfolk, Mauritius. The Cowshed Spa, Iceland. James says he loves this. He covers himself in this all the time. Well, you smell very good, James. We approve.
Fancy habit.
Yeah.
I was looking again at the notes because this is what Essential Scents is all about, sort of decoding, making fragrance more accessible. And this one actually reads as if it smells, which is great. Sicilian bergamot, mandarin, green apple, cashmere wood. Like, that is way more evocative of this fragrance. So well done, Parfum de Marly.
Yeah, I think they've actually listed some real ingredients there that they've used. They've also named one of the aroma chemicals. They've put that they've got pomerose in there, which is a kind of a more sort of fruity grapefruit rose material, which they've listed in there, which I think is quite nice to see that in there. And then it's kind of musky amberwood, oak moss, and musk in the base.
Very nice.
Brilliant. So I think Parfum de Marly is a really nice collection, and I think out of all of the men's ones, this is my favourite. I tend to lean more to their feminine collection, like Delina and Safranad, and is it Athalia, the black one in the black bottle?
Yes.
I kind of like those three, but out of the men's collection, still very unisex. I like this one the most, I think.
Interesting. That surprised me.
Was it?
Yeah. But I want to know what your thoughts are on H.
So I personally am absolutely obsessed with H, of course, because
I'm so glad you said that, because I'll be honest, the first time I smelt this one, this is the bright red one, it reminded me of like a Herbal Essences video, you know, the noises that they shouldn't make in the shower.
Yeah.
That one. Freshly washed hair.
Yeah.
Super clean. I could just smell, I can't say it, frangipani. Yeah, it reminds it, now you said hair, it does have that kind of like walking into a hairdresser's, and it's like the hot hair dryers on freshly cleaned hair. Yeah, and let's not confuse it with Jeepers Creepers smelling hair. It's freshly washed hair, nice and clean.
Yeah, absolutely, it's freshly washed. So I think, so we did, this is a white floral, just for those of you who haven't guessed that. And we did white florals in our floral box, and we had one in there which was the Gardenia Passion from Annick Goutal, or Goutal Paris as they go by. And it was so divisive, and we kind of talked a lot about how white florals can be quite difficult because they have a lot of these odd facets of, like, you know, they can be quite rubbery, they can be a bit medicinal, they can be quite menthol and camphorous. And I think the Gardenia Passion was a really extreme example of that. And I think this shows some of those difficult facets of white flowers, but it's just really, really beautiful. I think it's so easy to wear, and I think it's more of a tuberose to me, which when we reveal what it is, we'll talk about how they're not really telling us it's a tuberose, but it does feel like a tuberose. It's fleshy, but it's so cool and icy.
Mm.
I
Interesting.
think it's fascinating.
A lot of people agreeing with you on the tuberose. The comments are coming in so quick and fast on this one. It's really hard to catch up. There's a bit of a divide, I think, for H.
Rhonda has says it's like Niles smelling Daphne's hair in Frasier.
There we go.
There we go.
That's someone
Rhonda,
else getting the vision.
Rhonda, you get a box. Just because that's the first Frasier reference we've had on Essential Scents.
Oh, Susie, nice pen.
Oh, I've missed Susie's pun.
I'm not going to say it because it'll give the game away, but
Okay.
nice pen.
Colin says that he's glad that we said about the hair because it reminded him instantly of his mum's hairspray from the 80s in a big green canister.
Oh, what would that have been?
I have no idea.
Fructis? Let me know.
Nick says he prefers hay fever to H. Okay.
Oh, yeah, we need to talk about hay fever. Apologies to any Essential Scents member who can't smell anything or see anything right now. I fully understand your pain.
Yeah, we feel you. George said something. He said it's got a sweet, syrupy grape note, which I think is a really interesting observation. There were lots of comments about this in the group because, again, I think it was a divisive one. Siobhan said she was getting major Diorissimo vibes, and Diorissimo is kind of a very classic example of a Lily of the Valley or Muguet fragrance, so another white floral. Sarah Jane said there was something medicinal about it, but that actually added to the appeal for her. Victoria just posted a gif of Jessica Lange being a diva, and I think we can all agree that's very much the vibe of H. That's the vibe, that's the mood. And then Pip said it transported her back to her honeymoon in 2006. She said it smelled like an airy Californian hotel with fresh sheets and a soft breeze in the air.
Oh, wow, that's a beautiful memory.
Yeah, I really like that. So this one is a really beautiful fleshy tuberose, but it's also quite menthol, it's medicinal, it's camphorous, it's cool. But actually with time, it really warms up on the skin, I find. And then it goes to something a little bit sweeter. It brings out this soft almond note.
You know what? So I'm so glad you said that because, again, I won't tell the story of it, but it makes complete sense why that happens.
Yeah, absolutely.
So clever.
What I think is really, really lovely about this is it's so refreshing to wear in the heat. So I wore this a couple of days when it was really, really warm, and it goes, that kind of icy tuberose is really refreshing, but also it's got this hot tropical white floral thing, like you're stood in a, I don't know, like in a greenhouse and you're surrounded by sort of tendrils and flowers. We found the name of the hairspray is Silvergrin?
Silvergrin, I know the one.
Yeah.
Yes, iconic.
How many boxes are we up to? Is it 3 or 4?
We were 4.
4. Okay, so I've got one more. Okay, cool.
It's really interesting. Jack Cassidy says snowy.
Yeah.
Which, if you don't know the inspiration behind the fragrance or the description that they use, you are a genius and you should be a perfumer because that is in some of the copy. So well done.
Yeah. I think we should reveal this one and then talk about the copy because this brand is always very interesting with what they talk about in their copy.
Do you know what? It's gone down such a storm in HQ that I haven't got a bottle to reveal. So this is all on you.
It's all on me. Okay, brilliant. That means I get to say the name. I'm so happy about that.
Oh, I actually got Google to say it for me earlier, so yeah. I can help.
That's exactly what I did. Okay, so this is, are you ready?
I'm ready for you.
Okay, so this is La Domptus in Cagie by Serge Lutens. And that is the most French I've ever sounded in my life. I did quite a good accent there. I'm quite proud of myself. And that means it's like the caged tamer. So I think they're kind of playing on the idea of like a lion tamer. I think it's like a tamer. So this came out this year, obviously. It's by the perfumer that does all of the fragrances for Serge Lutens, which is Christopher Sheldrake. He also works at Chanel. And it's a beautiful frangipani fragrance, which is a kind of tropical flower with ylang ylang and almond. And this is £99 for 50 ml. I like these bottles because you get a nice choice with these. You can either use it as a spray, or it comes with a lovely kind of domed cap that you can just dab if you're more of a dabber, and because it's quite a big fragrance, quite a heavy. I don't want to say heavy, but it's quite dense. So I think if you want a little bit of a kind of subtlety, you can dab it. So if you don't know this brand, because I think is this the first of this brand? No, we did Feminité du Bois in wood.
Did. I'm just popping the name of the fragrance and the link in the group for everyone, because everyone's like, please write it down. Yeah, okay. So it's hard to
because it's different. Yeah, so it's La Dompteuse in Cage, which is the caged tamer. Luten's is this really fantastic brand that is one of the probably first niche brands. It's not the first, but it was one of the first, and probably for a long time was a very much a cult brand. That if you knew it and you loved it, and it was really a hidden secret. And then it's kind of become a lot more accessible. But they are these wonderful essays on resins and kind of warm ambery fragrances, and then these just florals that are just kind of so magnetic and almost like I don't know, like threatening and strange. And what I love is they do in their ad copy or in the descriptions of their fragrances, it's always very poetic. It's like a riddle, and you kind of have to try and understand it. So this one, the description is muzzled language molded from a one and only way of thinking. It reminds us of the hazards of society, on the lookout for the slightest misstep. But hope lives on in the revelation of a frangipani blossom that can be savoured right here on the skin. I have no idea what that means, but I enjoy it.
I don't know. See, I think that's really current at the moment with like social media and things. He's so he's a bit of a dystopian, isn't he? So I feel like it fits what's happening with people sort of trying to catch people out on social, any mishap, and then the fragrance starts, you know, quite moody and then turned into something really beautiful, because it is all about, like, you know, it's innocence in a way.
Yeah.
Don't always.
It captures that kind of like standoffishness at the beginning, isn't it? It's a bit aloof, it's a bit spiky, it's a bit don't talk to me, and then actually it does unfurl and become so much softer and approachable. It's really, really beautiful. I've really enjoyed this. I've worn quite a bit.
Beautiful. I feel like that's the last bottle left in the world that you have. For anyone who clicks on that link, will see that we are out of stock. But again, the beauty of our website, you can put an order through and we'll ship it as soon as it arrives. It's looking at 10 to 14 days it'll be back in. But any questions, if you're unsure, just pop us a DM and we can dig more information for you.
Yeah, I think this is really, really beautiful. And I'm thinking about Serge Lutens because Serge Lutens is not just a fragrance brand, they actually do makeup as well. Yeah. And I was thinking, if this was a shade of lipstick, what shade would it be?
And it can't be red because the juice is red.
Yeah, ignore the juice. For me, I think it's like a purple lip.
Ooh, yes. Deep,
like,
or
deep,
fuchsia?
like almost, it's like almost like purple, almost black. It's that kind of that very deep lip.
Quite vampy.
Yeah, oh totally. It's hugely vampy. I love it.
Oh, thank you, Pip. That's made my day. I was really nervous because I know Nigel is the secret star, but I'll do tonight.
No, you are the perfect co-host, Chelsea. Okay, brown gold coral. That's interesting.
Oh, yeah, maybe it's the tropicalness of the frangipani.
Burnt orange. Yeah, I'm obviously smelling it a lot kind of darker than everybody else thinks. People are going for lighter colours, pale pinks.
Maybe you're that person looking for the social mishap. And the people who see the brighter colours are on the other side.
I'm right here ready to cancel each and every single one of you. You just pale yellow like a sunrise. That's nice.
Ooh, bitter lips with an oily gloss. So editorial.
Well, I'd be really interested to see with this one if you can drop us an emoji of a thumbs up or a thumbs down on this fragrance, because again, it's a really divisive one. I'd be interested to see how many people love it and how many people find it not for them at all. Well, Sue says she loves Serge Lutens Fleur d'Orange, so this wasn't a surprise to her. I love that one too. It's so beautiful.
Oh, there's a lot of love coming in.
There is.
No thumbs down. Oh, wait, spoke too soon.
I think your comments are coming a bit quicker than mine.
This is why I came into work to make sure the internet was on point. It's really and these guys again. I'm gonna turn it around. So engrossed in this Serge Lutens.
Thumbs up from George. I know George really, really likes this one, and Hester too.
Yes, I'm doing a live in a live space, which is a new experience for me. Ooh, kind of meh. Might give it another shot.
Yeah.
Maybe when the weather's different as well, little things like that can really change your opinion.
They can, and I really, like I said earlier, I really enjoyed this one in the heat. I thought you get the icy cool quality of it is kind of refreshing, but then the flowers really warm up and you get like the hot tropical flowers on your skin. I think it's really beautiful. I like Serge Lutens as a brand, and I think they always do really good things. This is probably the first launch of theirs in a while that's made me go, kind of swoon over it.
Wow, interesting. I'm going to be really honest as well. I am not a white floral. Some of them give me headaches, but I find that this is really wearable and a bit softer. So if you're not a fan of white florals, persist and you might change your mind.
Susie's talking about the flagship Serge Lutens store in the Palais Royal in France. It's like in Paris. It's like the Perfume kind of pilgrimage to go there. It's a really beautiful store. Everything's purple. There's like a wonderful like spiral staircase in the middle of it. You kind of feel like you shouldn't be in there. It's kind of like a museum.
Well, it's funny because I've been in one strat meeting and somebody on my life, I didn't dream this, told me that Serge Lutens will only eat like Kit Kats.
He will only eat Kit Kats? Wow.
That's something that got told to me in a strat meeting. My kind of man.
Absolutely. That is the person I aspire to be. Diet of just Kit Kats. He's been building a house in Morocco. I think he lives in Morocco, and he's been building a house there. This amazing house for like the last 20 years. It is like the most beautiful like architectural interior design space you've ever seen.
I can imagine.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
A lot of people saying they could live on Kit Kats.
Yeah, I think that's probably everyone bring a Kit Kat to the next live, please, and we'll just sit here eating Kit.
Thomas, this is a good question for you. Why is Frangipani referred to as a white floral when they're yellow or white or pink?
I think it's more probably to do with the smell of the flower, because it's got that kind of like tropical, hot fleshiness that's seen in a lot of the white florals. I think it's probably why it's kind of clasped in there. But for me, I don't get as much of the Frangipani as the tuberose. There is a massive tuberose in here, so I think when I'm saying white floral, I'm more referring to the tuberose aspect.
Susie knows. Susie said apparently he's addicted to Kit Kats. This isn't a rumour.
Oh wow, that's fascinating. If you were to be addicted to one chocolate bar, Chelsea, what chocolate bar would it be?
Oh, that's a question. I don't know what's happened to me lately. I've become really boring. And I think it's because the bigger bars are always £1. So I always go for a whole nut.
That's good. At least you're getting some form of, I don't know.
Yeah, but you shouldn't eat the whole bar one night, should you?
Well,
what about you, Thomas?
Probably a Twix, I think.
Fair.
Do you like a Twix? George says he misses the matcha flavoured Kit Kat, but they don't have that here. George, you like fancy Kit Kats?
I feel like the food chat goes down really well in the Sense group.
It does.
Double deckers, Toblerones.
Amanda's saying the Japanese do fabulous Kit Kats flavoured very weirdly, and local flavours like green tea and lychee. Yeah, you could like Kit Kats everywhere in Japan. When we went there last time, we had birthday cake ones and wasabi flavoured ones. They do amazing flavours. Wow. Yeah. Now everyone's telling us what chocolate they'd be addicted to.
Oh,
so,
brilliant.
should we do a quick recap of everything, just very quickly? So, E was our first fragrance that we revealed. That was a wonderful fresh leather fragrance, which is the Ferragamo Intense Leather. We liked this and picked this because it showcased leather in a really unusual way, which is very light, very refreshing, very easy, very soft, not tarry or smoky at all. Then F was the Strange and Beautiful Musk Therapy by Initio. And this is an essay on musks, but it's just so strange and alien. It's kind of very fruity, sharp, but also soft, creamy, and delicate. And Chelsea absolutely loves it. So it gets that stamp of approval. Then G was the very handsome, elegant, refreshing Mojito or Pims. We couldn't quite decide, but probably a mixture of both. Of Greenley by Parfum de Marly. A lovely modern take on kind of a green, fruity cologne. Very elegant, kind of nice linen shirt on a hot summer's day. That kind of vibe we're getting from that. And then H was La Domptus Encagie by Serge Lutens, which is a wonderful white floral, a cool icy menthol tuberose that warms up to something very tropical and almondy on skin.
Definitely. It'd be good as well, just because to recap the first half just super quickly as well. So A, B, C, D, because we're at the end of this box now.
We are, and that's going to test my memory, but I have got them here.
Now, it's funny because me and my sister share a box, and I only have B, C, and D. A's gone, and C is right.
Wow.
Down to the line. So we have to show A.
So I've got A. A was the Jimmy Choo I Want Choo. Really fun, fruity floral, but kind of elevated, like a nice fruity floral, kind of a bit more grown up, I would say.
Yeah. And your favourite from this?
I really liked this one, yeah, in the first half of the box. I thought it was really, really fun, but also like, I kind of loved the kind of like peach champagne vibe that it had. I thought it was really cool. I was a big fan.
I did see a few Essential Scents members actually purchase this, and they managed to get the Jimmy Choo bag.
Oh, nice.
As well, which is a huge.
That was the kind of like, it was like a red bag, wasn't it?
Right, yeah, red glittery bag. It's been really popular. So I'm glad people have made the most of that.
And then I've got a Graffy off my shelf because it's working over here.
I've got to be honest, is one of my absolute favourite brands. I know I said Initio, but Narciso I just love.
Yeah, this is the Musk Noir. Yeah, Musk Noir from Narciso. It's a really kind of soft, leathery, a little bit animalic, a little bit dirty, but very warm musk. And then C, which I don't know where I've put it, somewhere in here, was the Tommy Hilfiger Impact Intense, which we all agreed smelled a lot more expensive than it was. Kind of like a really nice spicy wood fragrance, very soft. It smells very niche and has a cool little travel spray in the lid if you buy a certain size. And then there was D, which I accidentally revealed, which was the salty, fruity cocktail of Dylan Turquoise by Versace.
So your favourite from this whole box, Thomas, Jimmy Choo?
So I really like the Jimmy Choo. I think probably B was probably my favourite, but I did really like this as well. This was my like surprise for the box, the one that I kind of didn't think I would like when it came out, but actually really, really liked. And I also like
yeah, what was everyone's ultimate favourite from the box? If you write it in the comments, you can write either A, B, C, D, or if you remember the name. We'll be posting all of the reveals from tonight as well.
Yeah.
I do think C was the most surprising. So Tommy Hilfiger.
Tommy Hilfiger, yeah.
It's because Phil's here. We're just staring at each other lovingly. So it's Tommy Hilfiger now. Yeah, that was definitely the most surprising for everyone, and just a great win for Hilfiger. I love that the attention it got, and it deserved it. Really well done.
And I think it's a really good. That's what I think makes Essential Scents. It just shows that Essential Scents is such a good idea, because I probably wouldn't be that interested in smelling a Tommy Hilfiger fragrance. It wouldn't be one that I'd gravitate towards. But now I will, because they've done this wonderful thing that I actually enjoy wearing. So it just puts your nose in front of things that you wouldn't necessarily reach for.
There's a real mixed bag of comments, but I guess that's why we're here, which is good to see. I hope everyone's enjoyed the new box. It was a lot of fun to create. I think you'll agree, Thomas.
Yeah, I really liked it because I think this has been a really good year for fragrance launches, I think.
Yeah. A lot of the trends we've seen, like blackcurrant notes, flankers, run consistently throughout this box. So I hope everyone enjoyed. You've got one more box to give away.
I've got one more box. Okay, right. People have got to say something funny now to make me give them a box.
How about Rakesh? Let's get Rakesh to pick the winner.
Yeah, let's go for it. That's a good idea. He likes that. Put him on the spot.
Oh, his internet's just broken.
Just as a reminder to everybody then, just before we finish off, the solar box is on sale until the 5th of July. We hope you'll join us for that. That's a really interesting box because it's all about sunny light, as in kind of a luminous fragrances, sunshine, and things that kind of make us think of the sun and being on the beach and that kind of thing. And also for the next until midnight tomorrow, you can use my special birthday code, which is Thomas15, to get 15% off whatever you want, really. But just not the sample boxes.
Yeah, Michelle says, "Oh, the darling Rakesh sends your love to Rakesh sends his love."
Pip says that she's bunking off Pilates and hiding from the camera to be here.
That deserves a box.
I think it does. I think it does. And we fully endorse skiving from Pilates. Tina's going to come and dust all of my bottles if I give her a box. And my bottles actually do need a dust. I posted a video on my Instagram earlier of my Guerlain shelf, and George very kindly messaged me to say that some of my bottles need dusting.
Do you know what? I can't notice it from here, so you're fine.
Yeah.
Yes, the 15% off is active now and will expire at midnight tomorrow. You can't use it on the sample sets, unfortunately, but you can use it on anything else, and you can use your pretty pennies as well. Yeah,
brilliant. Not a bad way to end off then. 15% off. So thank you very much, everybody. Thank you for joining us. It's been really fun, as usual. Really good to talk through the box with you. And now we've got the sad couple of weeks until the next box comes out, but we will be back in July for Solar.
Shipping, I think it's on the 7th.
Yeah.
7th of July. So not long to wait. And I don't know if everyone knows, we actually ship everyone's boxes on the same day, just so everyone gets them at the same time, so no one's left out. Yeah, no one gets a sneak peek, but I have given you one tonight. But yeah, we ship everything on the same day. And also as well, these are filled in-house by our amazing warehouse team, who pay quite a lot attention to detail, and we're so grateful for all of their hard work to make these happen. So yeah, a little bit more context of what goes on behind the scenes is always helpful.
Yeah, it's a big operation to get all those samples filled and sent out.
It is, but do you know what? I've walked in a few times and the place smells incredible.
I bet Escentual is the best smelling place in Wales.
It really is. We've been going now for about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
We should probably go.
Yeah, let's sign off. Okay, thanks a lot, everybody, and I'll see you soon. Keep commenting in the group. If you do buy anything, let us know. It's always really great to see what people do end up with, and we love seeing pictures.
Tag us in the group. Share your photos in the group. It'd be lovely to see.
Yeah, and everybody give Lisa Justice a big well done on becoming a member of the month this month as well.
Essential team, can we have a final whoop? Brilliant. I'm not going to join that, but amazing. Thank you, Thomas. Thanks everybody.
Bye, everybody. Bye.